Hello everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at these Better Homes and Gardens ST12 filament LED bulbs. Now Walmart had a line of these Better Homes and Gardens bulbs in a variety of different styles. They had some really cool ones. They had some silver bowl bulbs, these more Edison style vintage bulbs as everybody likes to call them. But these were on clearance. They're kind of getting rid of all these extra things that nobody seems to buy, at least at our local Walmart. So I thought, well, I'll pick up the last couple packages for $2. That's $1 a bulb. And they're just a standard 2700K, which I do like. And I do have some fixtures, some IKEA lamps in particular, that use these candelabra-based bulbs. So why not, for the price, pick them up? And we get a chance to take a look at them. So here's the front of the packaging. We can certainly try to get this sticker off of here, but I don't know how well it's going to want to come off. Because, you know, it's kind of got that security stuff going on so that people can't just come in, take the tag off and say, oh, it was 3 cents. You know, it was the price of an apple or whatever. But we'll try to get this off of here so that we can get a better look at the picture of the bulbs here, because that'd be way more interesting. This is just like all the tags they use at the thrift stores. Same problem. They're so hard to get off. Well, there's our package with no more clearance sticker. And there we can see the filament LED bulbs. On the side here, we have a little hole where you can see the bulbs inside. It appears to have a 1-year limited warranty. Of course, if it burns out, then all of a sudden the warranty isn't good anymore, I'm sure. On the back here, we have some lighting facts and warning information. And more warning information on the side. Boy, there's a lot of warnings to use a light bulb. Copyright 2022 vintage style LED soft white is what this model name is, I guess. Okay, well, let's open up the package here. Oh, another one of those security tag type things. Let's get one of these bulbs out of here. There we go. So there it is. Yeah, it's just a little S-style bulb, or they call it ST12 for this size. It's nice that they put the little plastic protector around this, especially if the socket that this would be screwed into is wired backwards. It would make that live. But if it is wired correctly, that would be the neutral. So it is good that they have that protector on there. I've seen a lot of companies where they kind of dip it in a resin or something like that to seal it as well. We have 4 filament LEDs, pretty standard for something like this. It says a 60 watt equivalent, but it's nowhere near that. This thing is 500 lumens, and I believe a standard 60 watt equivalent is about 800 lumens. So, I don't know, I'd say about 40 watts for this thing, especially at 4.5 watts. What I find with filament LED bulbs is each watt is about 10 watts of incandescent equivalents. So I'm going to say it's about a 40 watt equivalent. They're way out of range with this being a 60. Let's go ahead and get it into our socket here, which is apparently already on. And let's get some readings. We're at 119.3 volts, 0.05 amps, 5.3 watts, and a power factor of 0.85. Now let's go ahead and turn off our lights. And let's see how well it lights everything up. I'm going to hold it up here on its side at our 2-foot mark. We do have some dark spots. You know, we have a dark spot here, but that's to be expected with filaments overlapping with others. You know, you don't have 2 shining here, you just have the 1, so it gives that kind of effect. Okay, let's put it on its bright spot there, and at our 2-foot mark, we're getting about 186 lux or so. Not too bad. Definitely not 60 watt of equivalents from just my eyes. Definitely more 40 watt. And let's get a reading here. And we'll save that. Let's take a look at it. The spectrum of the bulb at full brightness. And the CRI of the bulb at full brightness. So let's move on over to trying this with an incandescent dimmer and see how well it fares in that scenario before we put it on the Variac here, because that'll vary the voltage, and this does not. This varies the wavelength, I do believe. Could be totally wrong. I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the whole world, believe it or not. So, let's turn this thing on. It's already dimmed. Oh, okay. Well, if you turn it up all the way, it doesn't like that. So you got to dim it down ever so slightly. Oh, well, it just doesn't like it at all. That's like half dimmed. Yeah, now it won't even go back to full brightness. This is full brightness. See how it flashed there for a second? Yeah, it does not like this incandescent dimmer at all. Yeah, no, not at all. It does not like this thing. Okay, then. Let's get it off of that. And let's put it back in without that in the circuit. Yeah, now we're back to full brightness. Yeah, it did not like that dimmer at all. Okay, let's move on over to our Variac here and see how well it fares in that scenario. There we go. And we'll start dimming it down or lowering the voltage and see what we get. So we're at 120, 110, 100, 90. Oh boy, it has a really steep drop off there between 100 and 90 volts. My goodness. And we're at like 80 and we're basically out. Yeah, we're basically done. Yeah, this is not a very dimmer friendly bulb. Good to know. It says dimmable on the package. Doesn't seem to be that way though. Maybe on a LED compatible dimmer, but not so much on our examples here. We can take a quick look at the filaments though. You can see all the individual dots on here. Those are the individual LEDs that are underneath the coating on the filament there. So we have what are usually blue LEDs underneath this phosphor coating, which gives you the white light when it shines through. Not too bad of a bulb. It doesn't have the terrible 60 hertz flicker like some really cheap LEDs. So I'm happy with that. And there we go, our Better Homes and Gardens ST12 filament LED bulbs. As always, I do hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, be sure to give it a like down below and leave a comment. I do enjoy reading all of your comments. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more great videos like this one. Also check out my secondary channel Merkove and subscribe over there for more behind the scenes and alternative content. Of course, check out the other videos here on this screen, and as always, thank you very much for watching.